I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every byway on more. Much more than this, I did it my Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? This is the Afterfight Afterthought video for the Bernard Hopkins Jean Pascal fight, and basically in these Afterfight Afterthoughts, I go through the before, during, and after the fight for both fighters. I start with the Afterfight, which is the winner of the fight, and then I move to the Afterthought, which is the loser. This one was a much better fight than I thought it was going to be. It was extremely close uh, in ways of because of what had transpired in the early rounds, and then there was a lot more action in it than I'm used to in watching a Hopkins fight. So if you haven't seen the fight, it's a must see. Is it a fight of the year? I don't think it was the fight of the year. I thought the Amir Khan, Maidana fight was definitely the fight of the year if you were putting those two side by side. But let's go into it. First, going to go into the afterfight, or my afterfight, and that was Bernard Hopkins. And coming into the fight, is this it? How much more can this man fight at an elite level? He's already basically fighting for a title at an age older than anyone's ever really fought for a title before. Legitimately. Is he truly ageless? Is this going to be where we see him slow down and get slowly taken apart by fighting a champion in his prime? Has he bit off more than he can chew by doing this? He hasn't fought a lot of the top number ones, as of late. His last time he really fought a number one guy was Calzaghe. He lost to him. And he didn't look great in the Roy Jones Jr. fight. So there were a lot of questions coming into this. Not questioning his heart, not questioning his ability, but can his body, can he endure? Can he overcome again? You feeling me? And now I'm going to go over to the afterthought guy, and that's Jean Pascal, because I'm going to do a round by round. Oh, I didn't tell you that, did I? He's a natural light heavyweight. He's coming in, he's a 2-1 favorite. This is almost a lose-lose for him, because if he wins, he beats an old man, and if he loses, well, he lost to an old man. You see what I mean? So it's really pretty devastating. He's in the prime of his career. He's only 28 years old. He should be able to dominate this fight. This is his time, and the time for Pascal is now. He has to look good in this fight, not just win, but he's got to stop him. He's got to put him out so he can move on. I mean, he's coming off that big win over, Dawson, Bad Chad Dawson there. And, why shouldn't he feel like he's the number one? So going in there, now here's the round by round. In the round, obviously Hopkins starts out as the aggressor in this round. It's a slow start. Pascal's lunging in. Hopkins is countering and jabbing, controlling the round. And then at the very end of the round, Pascal did land a nice right to the side of Hopkins' head, and it was more on the ear. And, people say it was behind. It was right on the ear, so it was a legal punch. And he wasn't hurt. Hopkins wasn't hurt at all, but he went down. And because of that, you had to score it a 10-8 round for Pascal. But Hopkins won the first round. But Pascal, because of the knockdown, got a 10-8. Round two, there was a movement, not a lot of throwing. Hopkins is still the aggressor. Pascal with the lunging. They're going back and forth. Pascal lands a left hand, which was the most, solid shot of the round. And I gave that round to Pascal as well. And that, I thought that round, if you were judging, you could have almost judged that either way. But I gave it to Pascal. So that was a 10-9 round. In the third, they're trading jabs. Pascal is actually pressing in this round. Hopkins is landing shots to the body. Pascal is landing counter hooks. They're trading. Hopkins gets caught with a nice left hook. He's not really hurt. They start worrying at the end. Hopkins looks like he's getting the best of Pascal, and the bell rings. And when I said Hopkins got caught with that nice left hook, yeah, he got knocked down. I didn't want to overlook that one. Missed the knockdown to third round. What am I on my mind? Anyway, that was a 10-9 round or 10-8 round, and again, that was a very close round. Hopkins was winning, and he very easily, you could almost score that a 10-9 round for Pascal, as opposed to a 10-8 because Hopkins was winning that round. But I scored it a 10-8 because, I'm looking at it this way: you get knocked down, it's a 10-8 round. Fourth round, they're tying up. Again, Pascal is lunging. Big shots to the body by Hopkins. Hopkins worked the body, worked it very, very well. There was a bit of a slip there. Looked like a rabbit punch. And I had Hopkins, winning that round, the fourth round. That was the first round going to Hopkins. That was 10-9. Fifth round, against Hopkins is pressing, doing great body work, landing very, very solid shots. Shots that could have probably dropped the lesser guy. Pascal is lunging, lands a nice uppercut, but Bernard is absolutely controlling the fight. He's controlling the combos. He's throwing the head to the body. They start trading. Pascal lands a hook. And, when you're going in there, they were trading. Pascal did land some nice shots at the end there, but not enough to take the round. And I gave that round to Hopkins. And that was a 10-9 round. Going into the sixth round, Pascal actually comes out as the aggressor. They're trading. A nice working of the body by Hopkins. You really had to like it. Nice hooks to the head. Again, Hopkins working that body. He's actually pressing. Has Pascal on the ropes toward the end of the round. The round ends. That round goes to Hopkins. Pascal looked a bit gassed after the end of the sixth round, going back to his corner. And you can see that Hopkins' will is he's actually imposing it in there, and it doesn't really look like Pascal can hurt Hopkins, even though he's already knocked him down twice in the fight. But it doesn't look like his punches are even having that kind of effect now. In the seventh round, starts out fast, big lefts to the body by Hopkins. He's really working those hits, the jabs. Hopkins dominated the first half of this round easily, just imposing his will all over the place. Big hits to the body, big counter rights. This is an absolute clinic round for Hopkins, working at Pascal, landing the occasional counter hook, but nothing. He's getting outworked, outpunched, outhit in there, and that was a 10-9 round for Hopkins. Hopkins, on my card, has won the last 4 rounds, 4 through 7. In the eighth round, again, starts out with a nice right hand by Hopkins. Pascal's hands are dropping. A big body shot by Hopkins. You can see Pascal kind of guarding that body a little bit more. They're trading. Pascal is inactive, and he's losing the trading when he is going up against Hopkins. Hopkins is out hitting him when they're going at each other. Nice hook to the body by Hopkins. They end the fight, or end the round trading, and I gave the eighth round to Hopkins, 10-9. In the ninth round, they're trading jabs. Nice right by Hopkins, a digging right to the body by Hopkins. Man, he was really firing and pounding that body, working that body. He's outworking, he's out hitting, and he's out hustling. Right by Hopkins. Pascal actually looks hurt. Nice hook by Hopkins, another right hand. They end up trading again, and I gave the ninth round to Hopkins as well. Going into the 10th, the hooks, the 10th, the 11th, those were both solid Hopkins rounds. He was working the body. He was slipping those sneaky right hands in. He was getting countered occasionally by Pascal, but not only was Hopkins the aggressor, he was out throwing Pascal, and he was outlanding Pascal during these. He was landing clean shots. He was landing nice hits. And I had him winning the 10th and the 11th round, Hopkins. So from 4th through 11th, I had Hopkins winning those rounds. In the 12th, Hopkins opens it up. He's leaving it out there. He doesn't want it to go the distance because he's worrying about how the judging is going to turn out. He's working the head, the body. They're tied up on the ropes. He's pressing, he's trading, they're throwing combos and bombs. And Pascal is countering, and he has a decent round, and Hopkins pressing and out-throwing him. So when you looked at it, I said this round could actually be a draw, draw for the round. And even with that, giving it, I had it 115 to 112 for Bernard Hopkins. I don't see how you could possibly think that Pascal won that fight. So going into the after fight come of it on Hopkins' side, obviously he wants a rematch. He looked great in the fight. It was actually shocking to see that, and I think the fight should happen on a neutral site, or he could have the fight with Dawson or maybe even Tavares Cloud for the IBF title. He looked good. He looked solid. His stamina looked fine. In fact, the only time he even remotely looked tired was the last 30 seconds of the fight. He wasn't hurt. And I see him fighting 2 or 3 more times. Heck, he could fight to 50. If you going over to on the Pascal side of it, the after fight, obviously he's got to give a rematch to Hopkins. This is a fight he knows he didn't win, obviously, because it was a draw. But I mean, I thought he lost the fight. He has to do that. He's got the rematch with Dawson, even, so they're going to really want it. And hopefully he learns something from this. He fought Hopkins' fight and he lost. I mean, it was a draw. I know you're going to keep saying, but it was a draw. I'm going to go out there. He lost, man. He lost to Hopkins. That's the bottom line on that. He needs to stick to his own game plan. He needs to be more active. He needs to throw more punches. And get that stamina up. You're 28 years old. You're in your prime, bro. Get out there and do some more road work. Yeah, get your D a little better so you don't get hit to the body so much. So that's my take on it. That's my afterthought. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Sorry this is a little late. I was in Chicago over the weekend. So, all right. Wait, it's a Bigragu. I'm out.